What's up everyone, Darcblade here with my initial reactions and thoughts of all the weapons announced and shown off for Monster Hunter Wilds. Over the past 2 weeks we've been getting teasers for each of the weapons in the game in the lead up to Gamescom 2024. Now these teasers are just like 1 minute videos showing off briefly aspects of each of the weapons, but they don't go into great detail or anything like that. Over the past 2 weeks I've been sharing kind of narrated versions of these trailers with you for anyone who was interested or wanted to check them out. But the but I didn't really input my own thoughts or analysis to them, and that's kind of what I'm going to be doing here. Not going into any depth because a lot of it is still speculation and we won't have much information. Well, we might this week with Gamescom obviously going to have a playable demo, but for the most part, a lot of it is speculation, unfortunately. Nonetheless, some reacting to the weapons may add a little bit more character to than the teaser trailers I've kind of put on the channel or that you've seen from Capcom themselves. I am using the Capcom did put together a compilation of all of them into one video, so we're going to be going through that and having a little chat about what I think of each of the weapons and that, if anyone is sort of, you know, interested in my opinion and such. Yeah, overall though, I mean, before we go into this, overall the weapon teaser trailers have been actually fantastic in my opinion. They have given a lot of hype. I don't think every weapon was treated the same, but yeah, a lot of hype for the game. But anyway, let's get into this. So I believe it's going to be showing off the focus mode first. So focus mode basically allows us to almost perform a aim mode, but with every single weapon. So as you can see there, normally with the greatsword you would have to either use different moves to reposition yourself like that, but with aim mode it allows you to pretty much give you freedom to aim where you wish, whilst that may not be kind of, well, I don't want to say it's not new for ranged weapons for gunners out there, because, you know, they aim anyway, or there's insect glaive for that matter. For every other weapon this is going to be kind of quite potentially, I don't want to say game-changing, but it's going to add a lot of quality of life. Like you can see with the greatsword here, I think the slow weapons are definitely going to benefit more from this than the fast weapons. They also go on to talk about whilst hunting and attacking the same part of the monster continuously, it will create wounds on that body part. So kind of what I'm getting from this is, imagine the clutch claw attack from Monster Hunter World Iceborne, where we would get the same effects of that wounded part, but by just continuously damaging that same part. That makes sense. You can see the yeah, and if you use focus mode, it kind of highlights the red wound, so to speak. You can see the wound beforehand, before they go into focus mode. See, the wound is caused there, but going into focus mode will seem to highlight it a lot more. Now imagine these wounds as the kind of white scratch marks that you get in Monster Hunter World Iceborne after clutch claw attacks. So whether this is going to mean that certain skills like weakness exploit is going to be taken into account, wounded body parts, we'll have to wait and see. But I think this attacking the same body part is a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? User friendly than the clutch claw attack, I think. Yeah, I would say that. Anyway. Yeah, obviously that it can show you where the wounded parts are, so you can go for them. Like I said, with the attack, obviously going for wounded parts, more damage, you know, more efficient. Now, Focus Strike is going to be an interesting mechanic, and it's going to be probably where all the flashy stuff comes with Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I don't know about the focus attack in terms of if they are set moves that each weapon has that can only be performed on wounded body parts, or if you get some sort of prompt once you've done when when a wounded body part is kind of ready to go, so to speak, and then you can activate it that way. I hope it's the first one where it's just a move we can activate on our own, and part of our normal moves and rotations, but we'll see. But yeah, overall focus mode is looking like a nice addition. Nice addition. I can't wait to see more about it. Like I said, my only big question is whether the focus modes are only performed when prompted by the game once we have enough damage done to a monster weak point or something that has been wounded, or if it is a move that we can try to initiate ourselves through our moves and rotations. I'm rambling a little bit here. A lot of this is speculation, so take this with a pinch of salt. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to move on to the weapons now. I think first up was the Greatsword. A weighty weapon with slow movement and attacks, but each blow packs a powerful punch. A lot of these moves will be familiar for folks from Monster Hunter. Yeah. A lot of these moves are standard ones so far. A lot of the new moves and mechanics seem to pop into existence when towards the end half of these teasers. See that move there? That move is. I believe the upward swing is still a standard move for the Greatsword, and I believe that's what it was. But that reaction from the monster seemed to be exaggerated or new. It's almost like potentially the animations for monsters when they take a certain amount of damage, or when they flinch, or when they stagger, or whatever, has been changed, shall we, or updated to be a little bit more bombastic. Although that move is new. The follow-up, the run after the monster afterwards. And that's obviously the focus strike for the monster. Against the monster, I mean. So, this as well. We see the heavy bowgun do a move like this as well. I don't know if this is a new mechanic for weapons that can guard. Because if more than one weapon has shown off this ability to kind of push back with their block, I'm wondering if there's a new form of guard or not. And the True Charge Slash, of course. But anyway, overall, Greatsword. Let's give Greatsword. I'm excited about it. Greatsword, potential one of the weapons I would pick up. Greatsword looks 8 out of 10. There we go. By the way, don't take my ratings as serious, because it obviously is personal preference when it comes to weapons. Anyway, moving on to the heavy bowgun. Wait, they're doing the video not in the order of released videos. Okay, well, longsword then it is. Okay, normal spirit slashes, has the foresight slash again. special sheave returns. I am seeing some sort of new or kind of additional slashes. Now, I don't know if these are just going to be moves that we've had in the past that have kind of had animation updates. We'll have to wait and see. That's one of the things I'm wondering, if these are moves that we're used to or that we know about already, and that they're just slightly updated animations. Yeah. Anyway, talking about the Spirit Gauge, which seems to be all standard stuff, although the Spirit Gauge seems to have a graphical update. I don't think it's any new mechanics to it. I think it's pretty much the same, but it definitely looks fancier and more cleaner. The move just then, one of the things I must confess, I haven't played Frontier, so I know a lot of people online have been saying that a lot of these moves, or some of these moves, are returning from Monster Hunter Frontiers and stuff, and I don't have reference for that, unfortunately. But so forgive me if I do mess up in that sense. But this focus move looks like it has an after effect. EI Spirit Slash and the Spirit Helm Breaker are also returning. So, you know, I think longsword people were happy with that. Again, probably I was kind of pleased that they didn't give the longsword ridiculous amounts of counterattacks. So 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. It seems I am. So far, I'm liking the grounded approach, but then again, that's why I prefer Monster Hunter World to Monster Hunter Rise and such. Don't get me wrong, Monster Hunter Rise is a good game, but anyway, that's a whole other topic for a different day. Anyway, moving on, Sword and Shield next, which confirms Rathalos armor. Now, one thing I will say about the Sword and Shield is the weapon attacks sound meaty as hell. They sound so chunky, which is one of the issues I had with Monster Hunter Rise. One of the things with Rise is the attacks, and when it came to blocking, they didn't feel weighty. This game feels weighty, and the Sword and Shield especially so with its attacks. Okay, that's good that we got another way to get airborne with the Sword and Shield. Obviously, the Sword and Shield being one of the few weapons that is actually really good at getting airborne. But if you see a lot of the sword slashes in this teaser, I think I'm sure people have been saying that some of them are from Frontier, so that take the heads up there. But no, Sword and Shield, it looks good. It looks functional. For me, though, sorry, Sword and Shield users, I'm sure it's going to be functional and fine, but I got to be a little bit of a devil's advocate. I can't rate everything 8 out of 10. So, Sword and Shield, 7 out of 10 for me. Anyway, Darcblades, which now, does anyone recognize the armor? Hang on a sec, everyone. People online are saying the armor is from Kongalala. So Fart Monkey may be back. Anyway, all standard moves we have come to expect. Although there was an evasion to that flurry there. Now, I don't know if that means Demon Flight is back. If it is back, I don't think it's going to be back in the same way. But it also gave us a glimpse that the Clutch Claw may be back, because they used the Slinger tool, which Clutch Claw is attached to grapple to the monster to perform their Heavenly Blade Strike. Heavenly Blade Dance. Which is definitely good. It also looks like it has the evade, as you saw just then. The evade, not from Monster Hunter Rise. You know, with the wire, but I forgot what the move's called off the top of my head. The wire bug move that you would evade, and you get invincibility frames if you get hit whilst performing it. It looks like we got something similar to that there, here. So potentially add into its survivability. And was that a new Demon Flurry? But no, I'm impressed with the dual blades. Obviously, it's an advert for Beyblade, so 9 out of 10. Anyway, the hammer with a fantastic looking weapon. Look at that, with the brain and the flipping Plague Doctor mask, and it looks fantastic. Some of this armor and such looks great. Golf swings back. That move there is also another example that the Clutch Claw's back. Well, when I say Clutch Claw, it's the grapple that allows you to pick up ammo. Now that I think back to it, actually, from other trailers. So forgive me for that. By the way, if I am just going off, this video is just spur of the moment and watching stuff back over the past. Anyway. Again, that move, I think, it was available in Monster Hunter Rise, where you could keep your hammer charged and use the wire bug to pull you forward out of harm's way, or to reposition to a monster. So they are definitely taking some influence from Rise and Sunbreak. So you would normally use a wire bug there in Rise and Sunbreak, but I'm glad they've implemented that, because I actually really did like that move in Rise and Sunbreak. It really did help get you out of the way of monster attacks and reposition. Big bang combo. That one looks fantastic. Ooh, hang on a sec. Was that a bit like the water? Did it parry that, or did it just hit before the monster? Can't tell, but also, hang on. Stick that leg up. Poor frog boy. The hammer looks great. Hammer looks fantastic. Personally, 9 out of 10. Okay, Hunting Horn with the bone armor. They've got the songs and such. Looks like we can play them multiple times. Echo Bubbles, which I believe are like the bubble effects from Monster Hunter World Iceborne, but just massive now. It looks like the encore can be played 3 times now. That move there, the first part, I thought, oh, it's from Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, but it looks like it's been modified. The fact that it hits multiple times looks fantastic. And it has some form of fade step as well at the end there. Hunting Horn is looking really good. It's looking really good. I think a lot of people who didn't like the direction the Hunting Horn went in Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. I'm sorry I'm doing a lot of comparisons here, by the way. But a lot of people who didn't like the direction it went in will be happy with this one because it looks like it's gone back to a bit more of a grounded, purposeful kind of heavy weapon. It felt a lot lighter in Rise. So yeah, I think people would be happy with this. For me personally, 8 out of 10. But it may be one of the weapons I go through the main story with. I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure out which weapon I want to actually do the story with. I mean, obviously I try to pride myself in learning all the weapons, but for the main story, I tried to go through the story with just one weapon. So I haven't decided yet. Anyway, let's move on to the lance. Focus mode is going to make pokey pokes really more accurate now. I don't think that was new. It had a little bit of a reaction shield bash then, sort of like a counter shield bash. Okay, a lot of stuff we've seen in previous games. That's a nice upwards shield strike. Right, okay, right. See here, at the end here, this is what I'm saying. I think see, it didn't show it quite long enough there, but the shield was in its mouth, so I still think there's a new form of guarding or something where you can kind of push back against the monster before performing a follow-up attack, as is the case here. Yeah. But the lance looks very similar to what we've seen in other games. Just a little bit of additional stuff here and there, but in my opinion, not anything too fancy when compared to the other weapons. I know the lance isn't about being fancy and flashy, it is about efficiency at the end of the day. So, I mean, the focus mode is definitely going to benefit, but for a teaser trailer, unfortunately, this one's about a 6 out of 10. Sorry, lance users. I still think the lance is one of the best and most efficient weapons in the game, though. Ow! Okay, moving on. Okay, now the gun lance. The ingot armor returns. I wonder if we're going to get elemental shelling. I like that you can use your shells to move you out of the way there. It's not quite as... maneuverable or stupid. Well, when I say stupid, I mean kind of over the top as Blast Dash, but it was still nice to reposition yourself a little bit with them. That move there is looks fantastic as well. Just like we had a guard follow-up. Damn, gun lance drill mode go. And then you saw at the end again, it was doing that pushback with the shield. But damn, the gun lance looks impressive. Lacks mobility. The blast dash sidestep stuff was nice though. But I don't think it's gonna take away from the downside of the gun lance when it comes to being a bit slow when it comes to mobility. But then again, I actually enjoy that. I think one of the issues that Monster Hunter Rise had that Monster Hunter World did not was that weapons started to lack their identity, where every weapon could do everything. You know, your fast weapons could also hit hard, they also had counters, yada yada yada, and then your slow weapons, they managed to get stuff like blast dash in the case with the gun lance, which will allow them so much mobility and stuff like that. I like that they've gone back and every weapon should have some sort of downside to counter their massive positives, but that's me personally. But no, the gun lance is looking fantastic, and as you saw at the end there, the push back against the monster as with the guard, followed by a follow-up attack. I still think that's going to be a nice addition and a reason to play maybe a weapon that can guard. If that feels satisfying enough, we'll have to wait and see. But gun lance, 9 out of 10. Switch axe with a fantastic looking armor set, which I think is going to be for a new monster. I don't think that's an existing armor set, if I remember, from my memory. The weapon actually looks awesome as well. Normal axe moves, standard sword moves that we've seen before. Should be familiar. That an alternative to the wild swing, maybe? Right, this is this had people on the internet when it came out, going wild because it's a parry or a counter for the weapon. I know the weapon did have a counter and a parry counter really, in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. So it looks like they're bringing that back over, maybe. I don't know if this move was in any other Monster Hunters like Frontier, but the switch axe is looking fine. The only issue is they didn't show us enough. I'm wondering if that is because the weapon is a little bit too complex to fit everything into sort of like a minute trailer, which is a shame. But from what they did show, it's very promising. But 8 out of 10. I could imagine if they had shown a little bit more, it would have been 9 or 10 out of 10. But the biggest, on top of the new moves, the biggest sort of wow moment for the switch axe was the parry, which I think it's going to have a high skill ceiling, but we'll see. Anyway, Darcblade with fantastic looking armor again. And again, I believe this is going to be from a new monster, unless it's tied to... well, I was going to say Ratna-Kadaki, but when you look at it, there's something with fur here and such on the male model. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be from a new monster. Anyway, Darcblade. Sword attack moves we're all used to. Well, we can charge up our... Oh, Savage Axe mode is back, so we got our powered up condensed elemental slash into the powered up sword, powered up shield, Savage Axe, and then obviously our files. By the way, for anyone wondering, this confirms that impact files are back. I have noticed that a lot of weapons seem to have follow-up attacks to attacks that would normally end combos in the previous games. Like, for example, this one, the discharge, this normally ends the combo, but you get to follow it up with a nice little flash at the end. Other weapons have had this as well. damn. Hang on, before we move on to the insect glaive, I've just noticed something. That this not this focus strike, but this this move here, this one, where she swings it round before going into the super amped elemental discharge. I believe it's the same as the other follow-up, what I showed just a minute ago. This one, so you go that, and then she went into that one, and then she went, and then it may seem that you can go into super amped elemental discharge, extending the combo greatly. It could be wrong, but damn, that'd be satisfying. But anyway, charge blade. I mean, I'm torn between an 8 or a 9 personally. Let's say 8.5. Namely because the armor. Well, let's say 9 out of 10 because the armor is so pretty. Because we're judging them on the trailer, not just the weapon itself. Insect glaive. By the way, I think that's Frog Boy's armor. Kinsect's back, although... Oh, that's... I was just wondering. I was like, why is there a bar next to the Kinsect and before the numbers? And it's like it's the Kinsect stamina bar, which was found underneath it normally. But yeah, anyway. Was that a guy? The way he's running around with the Kinsect, it's like they've added a new animation for when you're aiming. You can grapple to a monster whilst airborne. Oh, the meme pole dancing move. I wish they had shown a little bit more. I really do wish they had shown a little bit more. I know they focused a lot on the Kinsect for the first half of the teaser, but I wish they had shown more. There definitely seems to be new flourish moves and such. Being able to grapple to the monster whilst airborne again lends itself back to the airborne clutch claw that the insect glaive had in Iceborne. But yeah, I think the running around with its whilst holding the weapon like this, I think is to do with aiming in that. Another thing you may not have noticed as well is I believe someone pointed out that depending where you're aiming, the reticle will change color to indicate what essence you're going to get. Here. So you can see there's a red thing underneath the aim reticle. So it shows you that you're going to get red extract. So no more trying to memorize what each body part does for a monster in terms of which extract it's going to give. So that's a good quality of life change for the insect glaive, and very subtle in the trailer that it wasn't really kind of pointed out. But never underestimate the Monster Hunter fandom for pointing these things out. But I am sorry, Insect Glaive users. Compared to some of the other trailers, I feel the new moves weren't enough to kind of get me super hyped for the Insect Glaive. Then again, I may be biased towards the Insect Glaive because it's not my most favorite weapon. So unfortunately, I'm gonna give it a probably a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, maybe 7. Yes, no, I should be a bit more. I shouldn't be so flipping make everything. Yeah, 6. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. Light bowgun. By the way, I don't think the Insect Glaive is bad. If you like it, you like it. Don't take. These are just my personal ratings. How much I enjoy something. I hope the game changes. I hope the game changes my mind. And to be honest, the lower ranking ones have a higher chance of me using them through the Monster Hunter Wilds story because. Got to give them a chance, and it may change my mind on them. So, anyway, light bowgun. We're getting into the guns. My favourite sort of weapon. Light bowgun is so efficient, but it's not very flashy. That's a quick reload. Okay, the rapid fire energy meter you find in the bottom right could make or break this weapon. Does this mean that every weapon gets a rapid fire? Can we rapid fire every single ammunition type with this gun, thanks to this meter? And depending on the ammo we use, the meter drains at different rates. There's a lot of questions. Like I said, this could make or break the weapon. It could make it game changing, to be honest, which is a fantastic output, a fantastic aspect to it. But I worry if that is the case, if it's going to cause the weapon variety to be null and void, because if you can rapid fire everything, then you don't necessarily need to worry about what weapon you're crafted for the light bowgun, as long as it has whatever ammo types you want, so to speak, in terms of the base kind. Like before, at the moment now, we take into account if it has rapid fire piercing 2 or rapid fire piercing 1, yada yada yada. If that isn't the case anymore, and we just have to find a weapon that has piercing ammo 1, 2, and then we can just apply the rapid fire meter to it. But anyway, lots of questions there. Also, critical aim's back as normal. We got the mines. It looks like we can fire the mines in a rocket form. There was one move there I wanted to just read. Also, this is one of the only weapons that has shown a mounted finisher. I think the Hunted Horn did one as well, but anyway, we can fire. First of all, we can fire the mines like in a grenade form now by loading it into the light bowgun and firing it. Like that's the mounted finisher. I was interested to see what that dodge is. I wish I could have seen more about it. I'm wondering if it's similar to one of the dodges from Monster Hunter Rise, but the wire bug dodges, I mean. But no, the light bowgun's looking damn efficient. Not very flashy, so 7 out of 10 in terms of trailers, but it's definitely one I'm looking forward to getting my hands on. Anyway, heavy bowgun. They're showing it off with the shield. Ignition mode. Also, if you notice here, it looks like it's firing off rapid fire ammo. I think we've mentioned that in other trailers, but it looks like they have some sort of form of rapid fire ammunition. To what extent, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think it's going to replace the light bowgun's rapid fire stuff, but it's still going to give the heavy bowgun a nice option. But yeah, anyway, I hope the ignition mode and firing our special ammo, like the Wyvern Heart and the Wyvern Snipe, is going to be a little bit more viable. We'll have to wait and see. I like that you can dodge from a guard. We might get some new ammo types as well. There we go, there's the guard in the mouth again. And pushing back against the monster. But no, heavy bowgun's looking efficient. But for me, it's unfortunately the heavy bowgun was shown off towards the early end of things. To the early sort of, it was shown off at the start of these teasers. So looking back at it now, comparing to some of the other ones we've seen, not quite as impressive. It does look efficient, and it probably is going to be one of the highest DPS weapons in the game again. But I would probably give it between a 6 and 6.5, maybe 6.5 for me personally. Like I said, don't. Anyway, moving on to the bow. Now I may be biased here, but anyway. Biased as in I'm normally a bow main. Right, it doesn't look like we have arrow types anymore. We got our coatings, got the charge levels. We got the is it depth style in Monster Hunter Generations, the one that allows you to dodge, or failing that, the skill swap animation from Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, where you switch your skills and evade at the same time. It allows you to do that to avoid stuff. So take your pick which one you want to refer to it as. But we got an evade with the bow, which I really like. I wonder if that's going to be a replacement for the sort of dodge bolt and such, which I must confess with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, it kind of lent me into a little bit of a bad habit. And when I went back to World, you know, it's like, oh, I'm kind of missing dodge bolt now. But no, I like there's some sort of defensive aspect. I don't really understand the point of the little hop there. I don't know if it does more damage or what. I wonder if it's just... I don't know, it looks just like it's going to be for flashy sort of stuff and not really... I don't know. I don't know if it's going to deal more damage or what, but it might be going the way of the Butcher's Binder, not that useful. Well anyway. Right, here's the controversial part. Now, you fire a tracer into the monster, basically. I'll let it play out. So, as you can see, you fire a tracer into the monster, to which, whilst the tracer remains in the monster, arrows fired afterwards for a brief period of time will home on the monster. So there's a homing arrow mechanic. To which, once enough damage is done to that tracer in the monster, or enough time has passed, the tracer will explode. This is controversial in the form of some people question the homing arrow mechanic, which I can understand that. And from a bow main perspective, I don't think we really needed the assistance in terms of the arrows being homing. Most bow mains I know can, you know, aim pretty well, and I don't think the bow is that hard to aim. But the idea of the tracer in itself, as in planting pretty much a dynamite explosive to a monster and having it explode after a certain amount of damage is dealt to it, is a nice addition. So there's a two-sided aspect to this, two-sided coin, where I do like the tracer and the fact that it explodes after damage, but the homing aspect I don't think was really needed. It may be an accessibility issue and helping people get into the bow, but we'll wait and see. We also have, I love that screaming noise, by the way, which I think is from the arrows, not the monster, but they are having the excuse me, having the rocks falling down again. Well, I mean, they're not rocks, they're arrows, but having the volley back is actually really nice. I hope it, and it looks like it's damage focused rather than just providing buffs like it did in Sunbreak. Now the question is, hang on a minute, I'm just wondering here. Right, the volley, I wonder if that primes it for where all the points on the monster are going to be hit by these follow-up attacks, or if the follow-up attacks are just aiming it on every single wounded point, because you can see there's at least 3 wounded points: the face, the leg, the butt. Or if the monster has a tracer already attached to it, and these stronger attacks here go towards the tracer. because it looks like it's pinpointing all the weak points, as you saw there with the triangles. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got head, mouth. I assume that's arm, leg. Was that the butt back there? Anyway. So they're all kind of pinpointed and hit at the same time. The Dragon Piercer definitely looks... Also, we got the aerial shot from Monster Hunter Rise back, which it was fine for finishing off things, but it wasn't the most useful. I would normally use it if I was my stamina was gone and I wanted to finish off a monster or finish off a thing, a rotation with style. And it looks like we got the 1,000 dragons back as well. But whether the 1,000 dragons is actually going to be using sling ammunition or just... because it just looks like they just load up bows, arrows, sorry, and fire all of them. But no, bow, because of the controversy, probably 8 out of 10. So yeah, anyway, that's all of the weapons shown off and my initial thoughts on them. Other creators have gone into a lot more detail here, but like I said, a lot of this is speculation so far. Until we get our hands on it, there isn't going to be guarantees or definites. That being said, the Monster Hunter community is tenacious when it comes to this sort of thing and speculations and trying to guess, and they are right a fair few times. They are right a fair few times, but this is just my initial thoughts and such. But I'd love to hear what you think about each of these weapons. If you agree with me, if you're excited, which one's your favorite, which one you're going to go through the game with. I'd love to hear all that. So please leave a comment down below. And until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my initial thoughts and reactions to the 14 weapons in Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not very good at live outro intakes. Outro. I'll see you all next time, everyone. Take it easy, and I hope you enjoyed the video.